There we go. Actually, there we go. It helps if I actually press the second button that pops up. Okay, cool. Thanks. Welcome all to the working group call for AIE on the 18th of June. If you can just add your name to the attendees list as always. We do have quite a large agenda to go through. I've got a lot to catch up on because Fan has been very busy with things, as is everyone else as well with the reviews and stuff. But Fan, do you want to talk us through where you are with your kind of side of things at the moment and the plan and everything that was agreed on previously? Do you want to share your screen to drive through this? I'm more than happy to stop sharing mine.
Yeah. Let me do this. No.
It's fine if it's awkward. I can keep driving. That's no problem.
Okay. Yeah. You can drop it. I cannot share. I don't need to share.
Okay.
So I think this is just a copy over the items from the last meeting. So we have some we needed to go. We needed to implement a few PRs to achieve the layered upstream work. So I think the first one is hardening the PCIe topology. That PR is under review. Thanks for everyone's review. I addressed most of the comments. Hopefully, it is in a good shape to merge.
Yep, it appears to be. And Jed has signed up to potentially review and approve as well. And I know I've asked Lubo to also look. I may ask Vladik as well, potentially. He's already looked at this, I think. Yeah. Federico, have you had time to look at this as well?
Yeah, I had a look. I didn't share my my thought because you were you shared before me, and I think that it's in a good shape for now. So I cannot approve. So that's why I didn't post anything there.
Okie doke.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think the PR2 and PR3 they are merged. So yeah, thanks for the good work.
And then the fourth one is the admission.
Yeah. So after the IO MMUFD merge, so I rebased the PR, dropping the duplicated temporary dependencies and addressed the comments, refactored the code. Hopefully folks can have another review. I updated the description, adding the valid, invalid examples to illustrate the case and how this PR works.
Yep, sounds good. I can definitely sign up to look at this again. Sorry, Federico.
Yeah, I just have a question regarding the PCI vendor selector. Those hexadecimal numbers are something static, or it is out of curiosity problem?
Oh,
I mean
I'm sorry.
that one 10 DE that PCI vendor selector.
Okay, so this one? Yeah, so
Yeah.
this one is a reuse the existing PCI hosted devices permitted the path. So the 10 DE is a fixed vendor ID of the NVIDIA.
Okay.
That's a yeah, and so the numbers after the vendor ID so the like the 2342 that's also a PCI IDs. So that's a fixed numbers globally.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I just was curious about that. My ignorance from the point of view about the PCI vendor selector. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to take time to review it and let me know if anything need to be changed.
Yeah. Actually, I'm already on it. I already shared one the first round, and I will do it. I mean, while you were addressing that, I was more focusing on the the follow up layer. Now I can switch back to this one. But yeah, of course, here we still need someone from some approver. So yeah, I need to ask Lugo or Jed.
Yeah, I was checking it as core approver again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, who is the approver in the list?
Sorry, I was muted. So the owners file just uses aliases, but if you go into owners aliases, the core approvers are listed at the very top. So these guys, we've been trying for the longest time not to add people to it. That's been a bit of a pain, to be honest. And we've ended up with the SIG approver approach as well. But in your case, on the PR, when it just lists owners, it's typically the root approvers that need to actually sign off on something. So the folks in this list, of which, there's a couple of people we can reach out to, obviously. So yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, because I think we are very close to the code freeze deadline. So I guess many PRs are waiting for approval and waiting for the review. So that would be a big burden for the approvers.
Yeah, for root approvers and SIG approvers, yeah, it's a busy time in the cycle. There's definitely not enough bandwidth to go around, unfortunately. But yeah, with this effort, we're going to try our best to get in what we can. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think yeah. Okay, so layer 5, that one is TBD. We deprioritize the work because this one is aiming to validate verifications devices for the adding a runtime verification for Grace Blackwell features. Yeah, so yeah, we can implement it later. The layer 6 is a critical one. That's the real work needed to do the domain conventions and the support the GRID specific features like to enable the SIMU v3 IOMU devices pass through. I have a PR, the PR6, the PR 18011. So that one is rebased. That one is rebased on top of the merged schema and the IOMUFD work. And implement the domain convention, GI arrangement, P placement, plumbing the options, connecting the sort of that.
Okay. Go on, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that, and Vladik has his kind of semi-competing approach to this as well, right? Taken from our kind of KubeVirt AIE approach that we had for 1.0.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, so Felix has a good point. So how? I also wondered. I also thought about how we could do the proper configurations to make this domain convention. However, I think currently, he raised a good question, but after evaluating the different paths, I would like to keep the counted implementations as opposed to vCPU convention step because we relies on the vCPU and just the domain, the topology, and the CPU sets. So that's a dependency. So we cannot do it earlier.
Wait, I'm missing what's the point by Felix?
Felix's point is, if it is possible, we can configure the Grace domain conversion in a different path earlier than the counted features flags. No feature flags earlier than the
You mean the configurator?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, I got what's the
because we're currently using the converter path. So he's saying, if it is better to use the a different domain builder configuration chain.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, got it. I think that that's the main point that Lee was mentioning before was that there is also competing PR by Vladik that uses a different path. So I think that we should align on which one should we follow. I think that this is the main question, right?
Right.
Yeah, because does Vladik Lattice implementation doesn't necessarily have that problem, right? Because it's missing a whole load of or little bits and pieces. So is it easier to start with Lattice and then potentially try to extend it?
So yeah, I'm comparing the I compared the two pairs. So there is a significant overlap between them. The yeah um, in the core conventions. So both implement the SMUV3 per device PCIe expander, bus arrangement, host device ACPI, and node set, etc. And NUMA distance mapping. But in my mind, I think uh, the my PR is a better umbrella path for the grid specific feature because it keeps the behavior explicitly gated by the feature gate, grid feature IO virtualized, and it validates PCIe resources at the mission plumps expected the host device ALIs, verifies the PDF vendor devices at runtime, fails close when the IOM UFD, SMUV3, NUMA prerequisites are missing, reject the conflicting annotations, and inject the GI NUMA corrections. So yeah, sort of that. So, but I think uh, the last PR adding uh, 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 um, yeah, it introduced different new things that the GPU handle marker-based GPU handling, like the ACPI node set equals the to fill. And that overlaps with with yeah with a it's a different path for the grid conversion.
Yeah, one thing that I mean, it looks like to me that is missing in your PR, which is contained in Lattice One, is the capabilities. I mean, I think that in Lattice, apologize, in Lattice PR, there is an infer of the BDF device capabilities about how's it called OAS or something like this. Yeah, as a synthesized or whatever. While in your PR, at least from what I saw, looks like that it's always is using the default one. Maybe it's just something that it's a leftover that you missed to implement. Maybe I don't know, but I cannot spot where those capabilities are inferred in your PR.
Well, yeah. Let me look at the code.
Federico, these are all the capabilities that the QEMU folks have just worked out that auto API for, right? So do we need to worry about that at the moment, or?
Well, I would
But
say yes, since until we don't have a liver version that can infer them, or a QEMU version that can infer them, and we are fixing a QEMU version and liver version which is not containing that. I think that we need to continue with those right now.
yeah, from a KubeVirt point of view, like, we're against CentOS Stream 9, so like, yeah, none of this is supported. But and I guess it isn't. It's not even in CentOS Stream 10 yet, but they've upstreamed it in QEMU. Yeah, okay, yeah, ignore me. I guess for now we do need that. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree that. Protest,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So this. Yeah. I think I didn't implement that because I think we have a RPM dependency problem need to be fixed before that. The upstream still using the 11.9, but these features must be using the later LibreBird versions. And for our Grace Backfill features at NVIDIA, we using the NVIDIA forked LibreBird and QEMU versions. So that's why I proposed. I think it would be better to split this work into a follow-up pairs after the quiz feature landed to support this configuration.
Yeah, potentially. On the RPM side of things, though, I thought we'd agreed that ultimately this effort was going to kind of standardize on the CentOS Stream AIE builds of QEMU and the Virt that they're producing, just to keep things standardized. And then eventually, as things feed back into CentOS Stream itself, we can move the feature gate towards GA. But for the initial alpha, like, we can't develop the feature even as an alpha if half of the upstream kind of community at Red Hat are targeting the CentOS Stream AIE SIG builds, and then on your side at NVIDIA, you're kind of targeting other builds that provide other APIs. So in the example of the auto API, for the capabilities, that is going to be present shortly in the AIE builds, and no, sorry, it already is present in the AIE builds, and then it will be eventually present in a CentOS Stream itself. But that might not end up in your downstream NVIDIA builds until it's actually upstreamed in the CentOS Stream build. So yeah, I think ultimately, like, behaviors like that, as they are developed and come through, we need a singular target for folks to develop against. So it doesn't really matter in this case, I guess, because for now you need to kind of calculate all of these capabilities anyway and provide them. But just in the future, we probably need to document it as a kind of a behavior of this group that we all focus on the same liver APIs basically in the same builds. And I can take an action to look at that and to potentially try and document that somewhere, and we can kind of discuss if that's a good or bad thing. Like on the branches, we can do whatever we like on the actual KubeVirt AIE project, and its branches. We can target whatever we want to target there. But when it comes to actually upstreaming the stuff back into KubeVirt, that's more where I'm saying that we have to align, because it's going to be difficult otherwise to actually converge on solutions. In my opinion, I don't know what others on the call think, but yeah, I do think we need to align.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, so I think you can you click up the RPM dependencies improvement the commit in the meeting notes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the last one, the RPM dependency improvement on Grace. So I placed a link. Yeah, so that's one I added in the KubeVirt AIE. That's a simple script change. So adding a customized yeah, so it just leverage the existing path that user can provide the RPM repo and uh, it did a change in the RPM depth, honor these override settings, split the x86, split the different architectures, specifically for the ARM-based dependencies. So this way it can let the user to provide their own RPMs for just for Grace. I'm not sure if that makes sense for the upstream.
Yeah, I think for KubeVirt AIE and for the 1.7 branch that you've got here, where it's pretty opinionated and it's your kind of playground or your kind of implementation you had against 1.7, this makes sense. I think for KubeVirt though, it just adds a little bit too much uncertainty if we have competing sources for these builds that offer different APIs and capabilities and everything. I just worry that we'll end up developing something that may work with the downstream NVIDIA builds or not work with the CentOS stream AIE builds or vice versa, and we may break each other as opposed to focusing on one or the other. Yeah, we don't need to necessarily resolve this now. Like going forward, Red Hat will have a 1.9 branch anyway for AIE for our effort that will consume the later CentOS stream AIE SIG builds and will carry any additional stuff that we need to carry for like even Vera Rubin enablement potentially. So yeah, and we've only got a couple of days now until 1.9 code freeze. So yeah, we'll probably have to circle back on this in 1.10 and figure out how we can better handle this going forward if we're going to end up with two different having to support different QEMU and libvirt stacks up and downstream.
Okay, yeah, I see. So I understood. I want you to call out this value because there are still a few important features missing the upstream CentOS. That's why NVIDIA is keeping pushing the changes in the downstream libvirt and QEMU to support the Grace Blackwell features. For example, the extended GPU memories and the other good features for the Grace Blackwell for the Vera Rubin. For example, we are working on the confidential computing support in the virtualization. That is a cool feature for the Vera CPU. But that the ARM-based CCA is not implemented in the libvirt yet. So we are going to deliver NVIDIA is going to deliver in late September this year to land this feature. I don't think CentOS will pick up these KubeVirt cumul changes. So
Yeah,
we
the
want to.
SIG probably, sorry to interrupt, but the SIG probably will immediately as part of this effort. So the whole reason that we have the AIE SIG is to pick up changes like that that are coming from NVIDIA or elsewhere, and to give them a temporary home and to then upstream them from there. So yeah, with CCA, EGM should already be there. The virtual command queue stuff is already there as well, for example, and lots of other stuff that started life downstream with NVIDIA has already kind of progressed through that and then gone back upstream. So yeah, that the whole concept of that CentOS Stream SIG that I keep referring to is to facilitate changes like that coming up from you guys from NVIDIA, having a home being built against CentOS Stream 10 in compose and builds and everything, and then being upstream from there. So yeah, that's why I'm pushing it as a potential thing to kind of focus on for KubeVirt. But again, with 1.9 development, if we don't get everything in, then we can always have additional branches on the KubeVirt AIE project. One focused at your downstream implementation as it stands at that moment, and one focused at the missing bits that we've missed from 1.9 code freeze and against the upstream SIG builds. So sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I just wanted to make that point clear.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing the right tab. I'm terrible at hosting meetings. Sorry.
No.
So, yeah, I guess like we've just got to make a decision here. Like everything else, the other two are pretty straightforward, and then it's just figuring out which one of these we land. When you say you're testing, are you just testing Grace Blackwell GB200 kind of at pass through at the moment, or?
Yeah. So a few things I wanted to test is, so we are going to implement the NUMA distance. So the currently implementation is derived from the agreement we discussed in the previous meeting. We started from the file system based inference and copy over the mirror, the cell, the NUMA node matrix and the distance from the file system. But the concern is that way might not work in the actual setup. For example, if you pass through, because in the gas, the NUMA node is all synthetic. So you cannot just reuse the matrix from the host without any change. I just wanted to testing if the assumption is true or not in the real Blackwell system. If the file system inference for the NUMA distance doesn't meet the requirement, we maybe need a fallback approach, like using the fully synthetic way for the NUMA distance.
Yeah, there was a wrinkle with our testing with copying the exact values from Sisyphus for NUMA distances. I'm trying to find my PR now because I've been on PTO for a couple of weeks and the context has gone out of my mind. But I think it was more of a libvirt thing where you couldn't use a particular value. But we've been testing the KubeVirt AIE branch that we have with GB200s. I think it is 200s. Federico, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's been a couple of weeks, but and with the NUMA distancing in place, everything worked as expected with 4 GPUs being passed through at one point, I think, with everything being passed through. I'm trying to find the wrinkle now. Where is it? I'll put it into the doc. Yeah, 41. There was a certain value that we couldn't pass through, but everything else seemed to work with the SysFS values provided.
Yeah, I mean, there are some corner cases which are not working, but this is caused by the alignment between the CPU and the GPU node. For example, if you're requesting, as an example, two core and 3 GPU, for example, the topology manager will not schedule the pod because two GPU are in one node that matches the CPU, but the other one is in another NUMA node. And with the topology manager and the CPU manager, they needs to, both needs to share the same NUMA node set. But this is, I don't know if I was pretty able to explain what was happening. But yeah, usually, I mean, generally it works. In particular, with the full pass through, it will work for sure.
Okay, so it works for the 4 GPU pass through, right?
Yeah. So I found the wrinkle finally. So yeah, when you've got the GPU's first GI cell and the CPU cell both on the host, like the same host node, you can't. I think it reports back a distance of 10, but libvirt reserves a distance of 10 for self distancing. So I just bumped it to 11 and it worked. That took a bit of testing, but yeah, it worked around it. I haven't actually spoken to the libvirt folks about that, so this might be completely the wrong thing to do, but it's only distances, so it seemed like the right thing to do. So that was the only wrinkle that we found with it, and using the SysFS based numbers. Yeah, I don't know. Have you had any other issues with it? What in your testing?
No, I wanted to do the testing, but haven't finished that. I'm on PTO this week, so the rest of the days of this week, so I needed to take some time to complete the testing on my side. But yeah, it's good to know. Does this commit also merged in somewhere? Or as
Yes,
in AIE?
yeah. This is in AIE, so this is on our 1.8 branch. Yeah, so I merged a while ago before before my PTO. Yeah. This has been tested with singular GPU pass through, dual, and then quad for. As far as I'm aware, so yeah, hopefully that's an easy enough thing that we can add either in 1.10 if we don't get around to it now, or and on the KubeVirt AIE stuff for 1.9.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, Fan, if you're going to be out on PTO for the rest of the week, I'm just trying to figure out what the way forward is going to be here, because these first two I think we can definitely get the first two in. It's just how we then converge on layer 6. Because we've got, like I said, we've got a decent amount of confidence in our 1.8 implementation that Vladic's PR is based on. And just if you're not going to be around, it may be better to get something in, but then it's not, yeah, like we were talking about, it isn't guarded anywhere by that feature gate at the moment.
For a test, I think that the PTO for the rest of the week, I think that is a general problem, because I think that it will be holiday tomorrow in US, and
it's that day, isn't it? Yeah.
Other approvers are in DEF CONF, so I think that if your intention is to have something tomorrow, I think that it's a no.
Yeah. Fair point. Well made. Sorry, I forgot about the US holiday thing. I didn't put two and two together then. Sorry, fan. Sorry, Jed, as well, for forgetting that you're all going to be off tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I don't know how to proceed then. Like Monday, do we want to set up another meeting or something to help converge on this stuff, or Tuesday? Well, Tuesday's going to be too late because that's code freeze.
It's Wednesday, the code freeze. But yeah, I was
scheduled. Oh, is it Wednesday? Oh, why did I have Tuesday in my head?
Oh, because I don't know. It depends when the code freeze. When I set the code freeze on the 24th of June, I said the end of 24th of June. Someone thinks that is the beginning of the 24th, but in my head it's always the end of the day.
Okay.
So it's right, tricky. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if you speak with someone else in the release team, says the opposite. But in my head is the beginning, the end of the day.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we can for sure. I don't think that it's useful to, or maybe yes. Yeah, I would say on Monday it's better. So we have 2 days of, with a full, a clear path to follow. Because if we were able to have the clear path, then I think that. I mean, I'm not saying we are so much time. I'm saying that 2 days is pretty enough to, if we committed to review and addressing comments in a fast fashion. I think the time is, we have the time. I mean, I'm not saying that we have all the time that we want, but it's
some time. Okay. Yeah, what about instead of having a full fat Zoom call on Monday, we just arrange something on Slack, on the upstream Slack, like a little room in there. I think did I see something about a channel being set up while I was out on PTO? I've completely lost track of where I saw that.
Yeah,
sorry.
There's
okay.
The working group AIE in CNCF. In CNCF.
Oh, of course, right. That, yeah.
I mean, the one that you created, I think.
Yeah. That's there, of course. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can just use that then.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. And now I see Ban's message from a couple of days ago. Slack is terrible for showing you like updates from other Slacks and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Let's meet in there on Monday and kind of arrange around, trying to organize, around where we are at that point and see if we can line up the final bits like with this convergence layer basically in layer 6 and see if we can get that in, I guess. Is that better instead of organizing a formal meeting or anything?
Yeah, it works for me.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted the code phrase last week. Is it possible? I'm just wondering if it is possible to raise exception for the with backware commit features.
Yeah, usually yes. It's always possible to fill for an exception. So yeah, I mean, I would like to to try to stay on the deadline. Because you can also consider that it should. I mean, if it is merged before the code freeze is good, but if it is on the merge queue, the exception is quite automatic approved. Because it's not about it's about the CI. So, but yeah, generally yes, we can fill out for an exception, but I would suggest to try to stay with the deadline, because I have the feeling that we will not be the only one that will fill up for an exception. And if everybody fill for an exception, it's like not having the deadline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, Federico, have you guys talked about delaying code freeze if you end up with a whole load of exceptions again, and just letting in things that have have an exception, so we don't end up having to go through the stable branches as well? I just don't want to have to I don't want to have to cherry pick all of this stuff back, if possible.
yeah, no, it's we didn't, we. I think that the main idea is not to go too much forward, forward with this thing. So I mean, the
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
is okay.
yeah.
Let's see what is the situation, and if the situation is very critical because of some dependency bump or whatever, we can decide later. But starting from today to say, yeah, let's delay. Actually, if you make some math, we still have some time. Okay, so it's saying right now saying, hey, let's delay because we will not be able to merge stuff. It's going
Yeah,
too
no,
much
it's
ahead
all
of
good.
the.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
appreciate
I
that.
know your point. I know your point. I
Yeah,
remember your feeling last release, that you
yeah,
enjoy
it's
to
just
cherry pick stuff.
yeah, it's just with this effort, like because there's going to be so much, and if everything starts conflicting, that's gonna make it even more painful. So I just wanted to put that in your head, just in case we get to
Yeah,
Wednesday and
yeah.
folks are like, we need to delay. Then let's just not cut the branch just yet,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
possible.
The fact is that usually we would like to cut the branch, in either way, is just because there is not only the web stuff that is going to be merged, but there is also other stuff, and we need to try to confine the things after a while, because otherwise, everything is going to be merged in a single release, and they are every day that we delay the cut of the release are days that we take off from the testing side, because after
Yeah,
the code
yeah,
freeze we have
yeah.
a
Appreciate it.
period of time where we testing the stability of the release, or if everything is good. So we can delay the release, but we are, taking that money from the testing. So, which means from the quality of the release itself.
Yeah, that's cool. I think we spoke about just changing the rules for merging, so it's only VEP approved PRs that
Yep.
merge in that case. But yeah, still taking the time away from the stabilization phase is not good.
Yeah, that's one.
But okay, all right. Well, yeah, let's get on the channel on Monday, and I will properly use it. Can you launch two instances of Slack at the same time? I'll have to try it because that's how I used to do IRC up and downstream at Red Hat. So that's how my brain works. Unfortunately, I'd like to have separate things for separate communication channels. But yeah, I'll definitely be there on Monday, and I'll get the other things reviewed tomorrow ahead of that, and try and get my head around the best path forward with this convergence layer as well. Yeah, Federico, you're available tomorrow, right?
Yeah. It's me and you. We
Yeah,
can also schedule a meeting in order to see
yeah. We
what's
should
the
probably catch up with this, yeah, about this, and
yeah.
um, hopefully by Monday, when folks are back on, we can potentially have two of the things merged and then just try and converge on this final one.
Sure
Cool.
thing.
Oh, I have one question regarding the upstream work. So, it seems like we haven't had the CentOS version dependent RVM bumps in the coming 1.9 release, right? So that means the features, the Grace Blackwell features cannot be actually using in 1.9.
Do you mean the major version of CentOS Stream that we're
Yeah,
using, or yeah? So the idea has always been that we were going to kind of have dual support for a while with 9 and 10. Um, that I've just noticed there is an issue with the RPM bumping for 10 that I'm fixing, but we haven't switched over to a CentOS Stream 10 kernel space and user space in testing yet. That got unfortunately delayed. I tried to do it too late in the 1.9 cycle, and by the time I got to it, CI was already on fire with other issues, and I didn't want to add to the noise, so that's got bumped to 1.10. But fundamentally, the support is there. The initial support is there for 10. So you should be able to build with 10 at the moment from the upstream project. Um, for you, obviously the missing layer is then your downstream builds that you've got the commit to potentially pull in. And like we have the commit on our side, on our AIE branch to kind of pull in at that point. But in vanilla KubeVirt, like we're only ever going to point to vanilla CentOS stream. I think that there's an argument for alpha features that we could potentially add additional repos and stuff, but um, yeah, I think for now we're not going to add support um, for this effort to pull in from KubeVirt AIE, sorry, from CentOS Stream AIE, for example, because it's just going to end up bloating um, the workspace that we have in Bazel. Like if we didn't have Bazel, then it would be easier to kind of handle this dual building stuff for the alpha feature. But yeah, for me personally, I don't think it's that critical for alpha. For beta and everything, we are going to need like actual build support in there, or at least have most of this upstream so it's usable, just with the default CentOS Stream 10 repos and stuff. But yeah, are you concerned by that or by that approach? Is yeah, any concerns?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, so it looks like, to me, it looks like we recommend using the KubeVirt AIE for the users who wanted to try out the Grace Blackwell. But for the upstream, even in the 1.9 release, the coming release, we don't recommend or we don't we don't have the commitment to make it fully supported because a few dependencies are still missing. Is that correct?
Kind of, yeah. It's alpha anyway, so it's not fully supported in a production sense anyway, because it's alpha.
Yeah.
Very early
Okay.
experimental testing. Um, but we're not making it convenient to folks to build in the required bits. Like we can, yeah, it's going to be tough to get it in. Actually, 3 alpha. Oh yeah, 3 alpha, 3 feature gates that are in alpha. So yeah, but specifically for the grace bits of what's needed here. I don't think it was part of your VEP to have that in there though. Was it in there to have the build support already with alpha? I don't know, Federico. What do you think? Do you think copying across some ability to do this into KubeVirt, even if it's behind an environment variable like a build time or something, would that be useful?
Maybe yes. Yeah. I will defer this on Monday. I'm really tired today. my head is burning right now. So I actually,
No
yeah.
issue. No issues.
I mean, maybe yes, maybe I'm not able to take a decision right now, honestly.
Okay, Fan, I'll tell you what, I can draft something against KubeVirt tomorrow to show you what I think we would need to enable this to consume the KubeVirt AIE, sorry, the CentOS stream AIE bits at least, without polluting the workspace and stuff. Because what we do on our branch is we actually sync it in and we merge it. I don't think we want to do that here because it would overwrite the vanilla packages that we're using at the moment. But we could have like an environment variable that would enable folks to run RPM deps manually themselves that would overwrite the workspace temporarily in their local working directory that they could then build from, that would give them builds that would have the required libvirt and QEMU bits in there as like a temporary thing for testing of an alpha feature. Like
Yeah.
I've done that with one or two other alpha things that I've done. I've got one at the moment actually that I've done it in for this current effort, and I've done it in the past as well. But it's very much an alpha thing, and I don't want to keep that around. For beta, it needs to be part of the build, part of the natural build ultimately. So yeah, I can draft something up tomorrow. If that wasn't to get in, it's not the end of the world. We can always point folks to it who want to test this in an upstream sense. And like I said, we've got the KubeVirt AIE branches where for 1.9 we can fork again and actually commit this stuff and have it natively baked into the branch that they're going to use those packages. So yeah, I'll draft something up tomorrow and we can talk about it on Monday. I wouldn't be too confident about it landing, but yeah, we can try. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Yeah. And the last, I'm not sure if we have time. The last thing is the testing. What's the test plan for the upstream works?
So the testing plan for this, we've obviously tested quite thoroughly against the KubeVirt AIE branch that we have. We've been testing against that with both upstream and downstream builds. And we've been using a partner environment that we have access to with Grace Blackwell systems running within it. I haven't actually scheduled when we test KubeVirt kind of aspects of it, but I don't think it's going to be pre-merge by Wednesday. Like if we get time next week, we can try, but it was probably going to be a follow-up activity after code freeze and in that kind of stabilization phase that Federico was talking about before 1.9 GAs. And then fixing any obvious bugs that we can find and getting that into the release 1.9 branch and backporting and stuff. So yeah, we haven't formally scheduled it in, but that's in my head. That's when we were going to do it. It was going to be after code freeze, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that's similarly we discussed in the last meeting. We wanted to we wanted to currently I think on my side we do the manual testing and build the RPM build the images and deploy it to the GB200 clusters and verifies the and doing a few manual testing there. I'm not sure if this is sufficient for getting this feature landed in upstream, or do we have some plan to adding some CI or integration test at some
So
point?
yeah, again for alpha, this is enough. Like minimal testing is enough, I think. It would be nice to have CI at this point, but it's not a blocker to having CI. I think it is a blocker to the feature gate moving to beta, and progressing through the life cycle. Like it's a must for beta. So yeah, we don't need it in the next couple of days, but we will need it, potentially during 1.10 or during 1.11. We are going to need a system somewhere that we can plug into CI and actually, automate this stuff against. But for this initial offering for alpha, yeah, it's not going to block anything.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and it just in terms of the layer 6 PRs, the more I think about it, and Jed pointed this out in one of my other PRs earlier in the week, that the lack of gating of some of this new functionality behind a feature gate in Vladic's PR is a little concerning, and something we probably want to skip if we're only lightly testing, or generically testing this in the current CI and not testing it outside of that. So something to keep in mind as we're reviewing next week and deciding which way to go. Yeah, we just need to be cautious here, I think. So okay, sorry, we're over time. Yeah, that was super useful. Has anyone got any closing comments or anything that we haven't spoken about? We've got a couple of actions for next week, and we've got loads to review, obviously. So hopefully that is everything. But yeah, anything else before we close the call?
Enjoy the long weekend before the thunderstorm.
What do you want about? Code Freeze Week is always fun. It's great fun. As a
Yeah,
non-root approver, I get to say that.
yeah, I know.
Are you watching the World Cup?
Yeah, it's going well for. I'm English, so I'm happy at the moment. But ask me again in a couple of weeks, I won't be happy. We'll be out sooner rather than later, as always. Where are the Italians, Federico?
What, sorry?
Talking about the World Cup, sorry, football, soccer.
Oh, it's Italy. So a pain point for us. It's around. I don't know. It's
No, I don't want you to hate me. Sorry, I was only joking.
No. I mean, you can. I mean, I'm lucky. Actually, it's strange that I'm not a super fan of soccer. So, it's kind of it's good to be me in Italy right now because everybody is suffering because Italy is not in World Cup for maybe 3 times in a row. Maybe last time we were world champion. Maybe it's 206, 2006. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't remember when it was. I was very young. So yeah, right now it's good to be me from a soccer point of view. So you are enjoying probably from England is doing well, no?
Yeah, for now. for now. Just wait until it matters. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to throw shade there. I forgot that it's been you've not been there since 2014. That's crazy, and you've won the Euros as well.
Yeah,
That's
against you.
against us. Yeah, that's how I know. That's crazy. That is absolutely mad. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, long may England's run continue, but I don't really see it happening myself. I think at the end of this, Jed is going to be the happiest person. I think France will probably win. So yeah,
enjoy.
Yay.
not that Jed cares, I think, but there we go. Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for that, and I'll catch you all on Slack. Have a good weekend, and see you on Monday for the folks having a long weekend.
Guys.
See you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.